Hey y'all, welcome back to another fragrance review in the car. This is a new concept. Jerry Seinfeld does comedians getting coffee in cars. Well, I am a comedian who has a coffee. I'm not a comedian, but I have a coffee. I'm in a car. It's my car. Just in case you were thinking, it's not my car. It is my car. And I'm a fragrance reviewer in a car with coffee. Fragrance reviewers in cars with coffee. Do I have another one with me? I don't. They're kind of hard to come by in my neck of the woods. If you look on YouTube, there's plenty of them. But none that I know of that are in the near vicinity. Today we're going to talk about some fragrances that I thought my Northern Hemisphere counterparts would appreciate because they're going into fall, into autumn, into fall. And these are fragrances that have that warm and cozy and fuzzy kind of vibe. So you're going into sort of a colder season, and that's what we want. We want to be warm and cozy and fuzzy. All right, cool. So let's start off with one of my favorites that I've kept for quite a long time now. It's from the house of Nishane, and I'm going to do an unboxing because it's Pachuli Kozha. Okay? Box makes noises. Useless people all around me doing useless things. Why don't you all get more productive and do fragrance reviews in your car? Why not? This is Pachuli Kozha by Nishane. There you go. Zoom in on that. Love this scent. I think the opening is a little bit challenging, but once it dries down after about half an hour, it gets amazing. Amazing. The sort of cocoon of coziness that it puts you in. But I don't get as much patchouli in here as I do amber. But I don't know. It's not listed there. Like, it's a weird patchouli. It's a patchouli that smells more like amber than anything else. And apparently there's a leather note in here, but that's way deep in the dry down. Fantastic scent. Pachuli Kozha, check it out if you haven't already. It's not a blind buy. I have to say that. It's not a blind buy, but it's definitely one to make you feel warm and cozy, and the projection is actually quite good, and the sillage is great throughout the day. And on me, anyway, it lasts a very long time. This is quite potent juice. I've probably only put a dent of 5 mils in this bottle since I've had it, and that's testament to how good this is and how. And I have worn it often. I have to say, I have worn it often. I stayed with it for an entire season, and it did not require more than 3 sprays. Pachuli Kozha Nishane. This next one that I haven't talked about for a bit is another patchouli scent, but this is more patchouli than it is amber. It's a bit more patchouli than the Nishane is anyway. Yeah, and I've had this for a while. Actually, I had this for a while longer than I've had the Nishane, and it probably explains why there's a bigger dent in it than the Nishane, and it is this one here. It's by Prada. It's called Amber pour Homme Intense. Now, the original Amber pour Homme gets all of the hype and all of the talk, but the intense version does not. And I think the intense version is actually better. They're not that similar, as a matter of fact. The intense version seems like a very different fragrance. But boy, is it very nice and cozy? Yes, it is. Is it quite linear? Yeah, I think so. It's quite linear in its coziness. Once you get into the opening of this, and there is apparently bergamot from Italy in here, which is, I think, the only place that bergamot comes from, that you can barely smell in the opening. After that, it just settles. It's just a very settled kind of fragrance, and again, in Prada terms, they're very clean. If you think about clean lines and smooth surfaces, that's Prada. And this fragrance is no exception. Patchouli can sometimes be really rough because it comes from a plant that you would rub yourself with if you were dirty. So it's known for having those dirty sort of qualities and associations to dirt and be quite rough. But this is quite a smooth patchouli. In Prada fashion. So that's a very good one if you want to feel warm and cozy. I think it's been discontinued, but because it didn't get hyped, it's not super expensive, and it's worth the prices actually that they're asking for on the grey market. So go ahead and pick it up. Keeping with the patchouli theme, we've got another one here called Moods by Krizia. This is Moods Uomo by Krizia, and this again is a sleeper. Not many people know about this, but it is phenomenally good. There is no modern version that I've found. All of them are old, they're made in Italy, they're vintages, the box looks like this, and you can either get them in 25 or 50 mLs, and I can't tell notes apart in this bottle. Just can't tell any of the notes apart in here. It's just a mood in and of itself. Absolute banger, cheap hidden gem, whatever you want to call it. It is cozy. It is comfortable. It is snugglicious. Very, very nice. However, and I've said this before, if you overspray and bury your nose into your arm, it smells like dog shit. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. But in the air and all around you, just smells phenomenal. There's supposed to be like I said, there's supposed to be patchouli in here. There's cardamom and aldehydes and lavender and coriander and ginger and a whole bunch of other shit, and leather in the base as well, and oak moss too. And it's probably real oak moss because, you know, this is well before barcodes existed, this box, so it's got to be pre-1990s anyway. And it's stood up to the test of time. It's held up. It smells quite modern. Like I could definitely, yeah, for sure. You could definitely sell this today. It would go like hotcakes. Unfortunately, it's getting rarer and rarer to find. There you have it. It's Krizia Moods Uomo. There was a female version as well. I haven't smelled that one though. This next one is another Krizia, but I've never actually talked about it on my channel in any of my videos, as a matter of fact. I don't know why, but it's, this one's a bit of a beast, okay? It's a bit of a beast. It's called a Teatro alla Scala by Krizia, and it's in this gorgeous bottle, which is not a spray, and that's why I haven't used so much of it, because I freaking hate splash bottles. I need to decant this out and label it correctly because it smells very similar. And I love it because, you know, I love opium in all its guises by Yves Saint Laurent. And this smells very similar to the original 1977 version of Yves Saint Laurent's Opium. However, it's got a more pronounced beeswax or honey kind of note in here, and maybe a tad bit more animalic than that is. Yeah, that's for sure. There's no clove in this one either, but somehow it smells like opium on steroids. It is a huge, like, projector, performer, you name it. And like a little 50 ml like this would last you, I don't know, infinity lifetimes. Came out 1985, same year as Coco Eau de Parfum, and I can sense a similarity to that here as well. But this is in a class of its own. I do love Eau de Parfum, like Coco Eau de Parfum is my favorite Chanel of all time. This is, it's in its own lane, let's say. It's not better or worse, it's in its own lane. And it is cozy, but it's cozy from a distance, because if you get too close, this is a very sexy fragrance if you get too close. If you like this kind of scent, it's very sexy. That's what it is. I don't usually say fragrances are sexy. I don't think I've said it ever. This is pretty sexy when you get close and you still want to stay close. That's what it is. Teatro alla Scala Krizia, still available at reasonable prices. Like, it hasn't gone apeshit crazy in terms of pricing like some other vintages have. Probably because not many people know about this house. It's a really underrated house. This is what the box looks like this. Okay? Just to let you know, for reference. Another one for your cool, cozy condition. Another one that I think is really nice and sort of cozy-ish is one by Boadicea Victorious. This is called Iceni or Iceni. Iceni, I'm pretty sure it's Iceni. It's Iceni is the name of this one. And in this one, you're going to get a lot of myrrh and sandalwood. And Cashmerean I can smell in here as well, which I don't like usually, but it's okay because it's a bit subdued. Elemi, the way Elemi is treated in here is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it's a performer as well. It's a really good performer. I think it's one for a colder season, not super duper cold. You could probably wear this in winter as well, but not on like the most coldest days. But in autumn, on a cooler autumn evening, that's what this is. Beautiful scent. Sample it because it's, again, this is not a cheap bottle of fragrance. Sample it if you can. Do not blind buy because it won't be to everybody's taste. The tonka in here as well is actually quite well done. Again, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of vanilla tonka, but it is balanced. It's subdued. It's in its place. It plays its role very well. Not the main player. That's what this is all about. Myrrh, I'm a huge fan of myrrh in fragrances. And that's what this has in spades. It's supposed to have clove and cinnamon as well. It does. It does have cinnamon and it does have clove in here as well. But it's not a clove and cinnamon beast. The next fragrance I'm going to talk about is the clove and cinnamon beast. And that one is this. It is Chasing the Dragon, Hypnotic by Clive Christian. And this fragrance is amazing. Oh my God. When I smelled the sample that my friend had lent me, I was like, I'm going to get me a bottle of this. I am going to get me a bottle of this. And then I saw the price and I was like, I'm not going to get me a bottle of this. But then my idiocy took over and I did get me a bottle of this, and am I glad I did? I've been wearing the shit out of this. It is, like, I love cloves. I really like cinnamon too, and this is right up my alley. There's a whole bunch of other shit in here as well. But the main players I smell is clove and cinnamon. Projects like a beast. It is, I don't know, a 24-hour fragrance, and for this price, it fucking better be. Phenomenally good scent, really high quality. You smell like you are smoldering with this one. You're smoldering, like you're spicy smoldering. That's what it is. Like if you could think about cinnamons and cloves with smolder coming off them. Does that make sense? No? Never mind. That's what this is. And don't get it confused, because this is Chasing the Dragon Hypnotic in the Addictive Arts collection. So hard to remember which one it is, because they have another one, Chasing the Dragon something else. Then they also have Vision in a Dream something, or Jump Up and Kiss Me, or something like that. The names are just so long and really difficult to remember, but this is the one. It's called Hypnotic. See, I even had to read it again. Hypnotic. Do not blind buy, because it's freaking expensive, these bottles, especially these older ones. These are 75 mls. They now come in like a more squat 50 ml bottle. So yeah, be aware of that. Okay, and the very last one that I'm going to talk about in this warm and cozy list, because you know we all love lists, is one that I got recently, only a few months ago, and I've been giving it some wear every now and then. This is Tobacco Maniac by Theodoros Kalotinis, indie perfume house, indie perfumer. The perfumer is Theodoros. You know, if that's not a Greek name, I don't know what is. This, wow. If you think of like the finest Cuban cigar that's been dipped in just some dark chocolate. Oh, amazing. One spray is all I need. Yeah, one spray is all you need. This thing is a beast, and it's one of the niche or indie niche houses that aren't ridiculous with their pricing. This is a very reasonable buy. This 50 ml will probably last me forever, and it's cheaper than a designer scent. How could I not? fantastic. I give this my thumbs up of approval. Both of them. So yeah, fantastic work, this one. The chocolate nuance is coming from that patchouli, and of course Tobacco Maniac being, there's tobacco as the main player here. I do not smell anything else other than that. I might need to study this a little bit more because I'm sure there's more in here than just that. But to give you the general feel of what people are going to smell in the air around you is like unburnt, that is, Cuban cigar, tobacco leaf with dark chocolate nuances coming and going, like coming and going. Like it's not always there. It's like undulating kind of thing. And I think that's beautiful. I think it's a really well done fragrance. And cozy, if you are, this is like you could go out and wear a suit and be super sharp looking gentleman in a suit at night, and at the end of the night when you're leaving your soiree or the venue or whatever, then you would, and your date or your partner would be cozying up to you on your arm and they would smell this on you. Magic, absolute magic. So there you go. That's the last one of this list of fragrances for warm and cozy for the fall or the autumn, however it is, all my folks in the Northern Hemisphere. What's happening? And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that list. Didn't take me long to put that together because I do like warm and cozy sort of fragrances. But yeah, I'll probably have to wait until next year until I dive into these again. And as always, thanks for watching. Click.